As a child care provider who is contracted by the Arizona Department of Economic Security, or DES, there are documents you must submit when enrolling a new family. This video will provide some tips on how to fill out the Sign-In, Sign-Out form, often referred to as CCA. This sheet records when the client enters and exits your facility. There needs to be one form per child, and it is good for 1 month. You can access all necessary forms through the Document Center on the DES website. If you need the forms mailed to you, please submit a request via email to ccacontracts@azdes.gov. The Sign-In, Sign-Out document is listed in the Document Center as form number CCA-0218A. As stated earlier, your clients will use this form every time they enter and exit your facility. If a mistake is made on a Sign-In, Sign-Out form, corrections should be made by the person signing in or out. This form should never be recreated, but should be corrected by using these procedures. The signer should cross out the mistake, write in the corrected time or signature, and initials right next to the mistake. When correcting mistakes, never draw arrows. Use ditto marks, or use whiteout or any other type of correction fluid or tape. Here are some things to keep in mind when filling out this form. Legal signatures by a parent, guardian, or authorized adult are mandatory. Non-payment could result without a proper signature. Signatures must always be legible and in black or blue ink, and signatures cannot be pre-signed for a date in the future. You may request the client produce a valid driver's license to verify their legal signature. If you don't want to use the DES Sign-In, Sign-Out form, you must contact your contract specialist and get the record you created pre-approved before using it. Records should always contain the names of the facility, the parent or guardian, and the child. Each record must contain and match the certificate of authorization in regard to the provider's name, child's name, parent or guardian's name, and year in which care is provided. If a provider is open for more than 12 hours, this record must specify AM or PM for each entry. The use of military time is acceptable. As mentioned in the Verbal Notices of Eligibility form video, the registration agreement defines a unit of care as a claim represented by a D or an L rate. Keep in mind, it is important to work with these precise times. It is never acceptable to round off the time. If a child attends your care facility for 5 hours and 59 minutes, it is still classified as an L or half-day rate. In addition, DES does not pay for care under 14 minutes or less. For your convenience, DES has developed relationships with several attendance tracking systems as an alternative to paper files. These new tracking system options include online sign-in and sign-out via the customer's phone or tablet. For more information, visit the des.az.gov Child Care page and click on the Provider drop-down box at the bottom of the page. Whether you are using an alternate attendance tracking system or the paper sign-in, sign-out form, here are some additional things to keep in mind. Do not share login information or PIN numbers. Do not log the children in or out for parents. Only one CCA form per child per week. The record should include the parent or guardian's signature and date, if the date is not specified on a monthly basis. All information at the top of the CCA record must be complete and accurate. The names must match the billing form. Providers may not make changes or edit the sign-in, sign-out time. The staff member for a transportation company may sign a child into the facility, but only when accepting and releasing the child to or from school. A copy of the Sign-In, Sign-Out record must be submitted to your assigned DES certification specialist by the 5th business day following the end of each month. You must also provide the CCA records when requested by the certification specialist. Sometimes a child will check into your facility twice in one day. For example, once before school and once after school. The total time the child stays must be added together. Having a system in place, such as a computer-generated spreadsheet, would be beneficial when calculating times for school-age children. In some instances, you may be compensated when a child does not show up for childcare. You may be compensated for childcare when the following conditions occur. The child was currently enrolled and received DES subsidized care at the facility at least one day during the service month, and you charge all families, both DES clients and private paying families, for absences and advise all families in writing that payment is required for all the days the child is absent. You cannot file a supplemental bill to DES to capture absent days not previously claimed. Also, the maximum claimable paid absence through DES is 5 per month per child. In a scenario where this occurs, you may bill the client directly. Finally, sign-in, sign-out form records must be kept for 5 years after the expiration of the Child Care Provider Registration Agreement. Your books and records are subject to audit by the state and, where applicable, the federal government, to the extent that the books and records relate to the performance of the agreement.